In a forest, a female Acrocanthosaurus is laying her eggs. Growing up to 38 feet, a female can lay a clutch of 12 eggs. However, it is unlikely that most will survive to adulthood. Acrocanthosaurus was among the largest theropods known to exist. Acrocanthosaurus is in the Allosauri group, which are at their peak around this time. Despite being large and powerful, once she finishes laying her eggs, she will abandon them like modern sea turtles. When they hatch, they will need to fend for themselves. Our main character, Acro, has finally hatched. However, he has been born into a world of danger and must learn about the world fast or he will die. In this world, only the strongest survive. It's a case of adapt or die. The world is already trying to kill him, as a crocodile leaps out and attacks him. He is confused and gets closer. Acro attempts to fight back as he has a rare case of already having violent tendencies. The crocodile chases him. Luckily, he has gotten beginner's luck, as a large pterosaur swoops in and eats the crocodile. However, it is survival of the fittest in this world. During the Middle Cretaceous, half of Texas was an island in what is now the Gulf of Mexico, and Acro is living on that remote island. The weather and currents of the island's coasts are so harsh that few animals can survive these hostile beaches. The beaches are covered with blasting sand and bitter cold. The animals that do live on the beaches have adapted to this weather and relish the icy waters of the newly created Atlantic Ocean, as these oceans have some of the most richest fishing spots in North America. However, inland it is tropical. Near the beaches, a predator is feasting on a dead body despite the harsh weather. This little carnivore is one of the most common animals on the island and spends most of its life on the beach. It is cushioned by its thick layers of feathers. The island may seem small, but it is the same size as modern New Zealand. It is a juvenile Deinonychus. Closer inland where the mangroves are is where the adults live. A hungry Acro stalks the beaches for lunch. It has been a few months since he was born, but even now he still searches for crabs. He stalks a baby Sauroposeidon waiting for the perfect moment. He attacks. However, during the attack, he falls in the water. Eventually, he gets back up. He attacks until finally, the youngster dies, and Acro can feast. At an adult size, Acrocanthosaurus would have been heavy, growing up to a weight of 6.6 metric ton. Despite living in North America, there is evidence that they may have lived on other continents. In Asia, there have been fossils found, similar to those in Acrocanthosaurus. However, they most likely were of a different species. Where Acro lives, there are many different types of creatures, such as this Deinonychus. This 10-foot relative of the Utahraptor has many of the same traits as its older relative, such as sickle claw and downy feathers. However, unlike its cousin, it was much smaller and did not live in packs. This male kami takes a sip of water at the river. This river is connected to the mangrove swamp. Growing up to 11 feet in size, they were the jackals of the Cretaceous. Similar to Utahraptor, it had a large sickle-shaped toe claw, yet unlike Utahraptor, they most likely didn't hunt in packs. Small and agile, with a flexible tail, with sharp teeth and claws to grip prey, these were built to be killing machines. However, right now, it is calmly taking a sip of water. The male Deinonychus looks for shelter to rest. There are bigger and more powerful animals for it to worry about, as Deinonychus on its own could only take on small animals. There is also the Ankylosaur sauropelta. Growing up to 20 feet, these intimidating herbivores are covered with the protection of armored plates and a powerful tail. Normally they live alone and will only meet other sauropelta during mating season. In the skies, a pterosaur by the name of Radiodactylus flies overhead. It approaches a mangrove swamp where plenty of food lies. This early art-dogwood pterosaur has many of the traits of later relatives, such as Quetzalcoatlus would have, such as long necks, small feet, and just like its relatives, would hunt land prey, such as here where it searches for river insects. However, Radiodactylus was only 5 feet in wingspan. It was tiny compared to its relatives. However, the river can be dangerous. The amphibious dinosaur, Tenatosaurus, is too large to be attacked by the usual predators, such as crocodiles. So as of right now, it does its eating. For smaller dinosaurs, they must get water fast, then scurry away. By contrast, the water is anomaly dangerous for the Tenatosaurus. They spend most of their day here. However, they still come up for air. These large herbivores has adapted to swim in rivers and to forage on the water plants. It is just as adapted to living life on land as it rests during the afternoon. During this time, they usually make noises. It returns to the water to feed until night. Late in the afternoon, Acro goes up a hill to a place to sleep. He has had a long day of foraging for food and now needs his rest. Acro lives near a volcanic lake where the gas coming from the volcano seeps out. However, these lakes are a rich food source for small animals. Frogs, insects, and spiders are common here. Despite that, those animals only live around the lake. Only microscopic animals live on these geyser lakes, due to the water being boiling hot. Occasionally, these geysers erupt boiling water. That night, Acro sleeps. However, some animals will roam around in the night. A thunderstorm begins. Smaller animals look for shelter, but larger ones, like this adult male Acrocanthosaurus, have nothing to fear. This male is on the hunt. He spots a very large sauropelta, resting nearby. First, he stalks his prey. Then he attacks. The sauropelta wakes up just in time. The male has bit it, but the sauropelta strikes back with its tail. Suddenly, the battle ends. The predator walks away. The prey has won. Deeper in the forest lives another animal. The small herbivore, Cephalosaurus, scurries along the forest floor. This female searches the ground for nuts and berries, another thing the Cephalosaurus will eat. Small dinosaurs like Cephalosaurus will spend most of their lives in these forests to avoid predators. These forests are teeming with life. Big dinosaurs don't live in these heavily forested areas. but instead live out in the plains and swamps. Despite living in a land of giants, the Zephyrosaurus only was about 2 meters in length. Zephyrosaurus is still very incompletely known. Among other distinctive characteristics, it had a steep face, a raised knob on the upper jaw, and a larger knob on the cheekbone. Some of the bones may have allowed movement within the skull cranial kinesis as well. Eventually morning arrives, and Acro searches for food. However, he isn't the only one on a hunt. A group of Deinonychus live in a cave on a beach. Right now, this individual tends to her young. Other Deinonychus live in these caves, with their young. However, there is only one youngster alive. However, this female has to hunt. Normally, a Tenotosaurus is too big for one Deinonychus to kill. However, here this female has the advantage. He has cornered this Tenotosaurus on a cliff. With nowhere to escape, the Tenotosaurus moves farther back, closer to the edge. The Tenotosaurus still can fight back. However, it has made careless moves to avoid the raptor, until he has made one bad mistake. He drops. The Deinonychus has chased the Tenotosaurus off a cliff. That night, she feasts. She will bring some flesh home to feed her young. The next day, Acro scratches himself using a tree. Despite living alone, his instinct has taught him to learn about the tricks of life, such as getting the parasites of his back. However, he won't be a youngling forever. Acro has grown bigger now. He is now 6 years old. However, he's still a juvenile, and still must watch out for larger Acrocanthosaurus. However, he can hunt other dinosaurs on his own now. Acrocanthosaurus are fiercely territorial. Acro has marked his territory by this river. However, another individual has entered his territory. Acro roars at him to intimidate him. His response is met when the individual attacks Acro, chasing him out of his own territory. Meanwhile, a large sauropelta feeds on the neighboring plants. They feed on ginkgos, cycads, and ferns. These ankylosaurids are built like tanks. No animal messes with them, except large Acrocanthosaurus individuals. However, the sauropelta is equipped with armor and a powerful tail. Like many ankylosaurids, it was quite heavy at 3,300 pounds. It was covered in a layer of plates on its back, forming a shield. However, this Acrocanthosaurus attacks the sauropelta. It is one of those rare times where the Acrocanthosaurus has won. Acro doesn't get too close to the larger Acrocanthosaurus. Large Acrocanthosaurus will kill and probably eat younger Acrocanthosaurus. Acro isn't large enough to take down the large dinosaurs, so it has to scavenge or kill smaller animals. However, it won't last forever. Acro is now a fully grown Acrocanthosaurus. He has been an adult for the last 5 years. No animal can cause any harm to him now, not even other Acrocanthosaurus. Except during mating season. Every year, male Acrocanthosaurus fight for the female's affection. Right now, he is getting food to fill his stomach. He needs the energy to fight several males. Acro starts heading on his way to the mating grounds. Every year, Acro has won the right to mate. Hopefully for him, it will be the same this year. Acrocanthosaurus are solitary animals, meaning this mating season will be the only time other Acrocanthosaurus will meet up. However, Acro isn't the only giant nearby. A male Sauroposeidon. These solitary herbivores can grow up to 89 feet, making it the largest animals living in this area. There were few predators which could attempt to attack a full-grown Sauroposeidon, but juveniles were likely to be preyed on by the contemporary Acrocanthosaurus. These long-necked dinosaurs could reach the top of the trees. In Texas, these part of the trees were eaten exclusively by sauropods such as Sauroposeidon. Sauroposeidon was probably able to raise its head 16 to 18 meters or 54 to 59 feet above the ground, which is as high as a 6-story building. Now Acro will battle several males for the right to mate. That night, Acro can mate. The next day, Acro chases a Tenotosaurus. It is now a drought, and the river is now too shallow for the Tenotosaurus to feed on the aquatic plants, forcing it to be on land more often. The Tenotosaurus, instead of running more, turns to fight back. The Tenotosaurus has fatally wounded Acro, and he now retreats. The odds of him surviving now are low. Acro has major blood loss and slowly limps away. Fortunately, he already has mated carrying on his genes. The circle of life will continue. The next morning, he is dead. The once mighty and powerful Acro is now food for smaller dinosaurs. A baby Acrocanthosaurus feeds on Acro's corpse. This is the end to Acro's story. 2 Deinonychus show up to feed as well. Acro's corpse is enough to feed an ecosystem for days. In the next episode, we will visit the land of Africa.